This week on The Splash, a conversation with the president, hotels to homes, and later fresh produce. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything from local news to feature stories, all so that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash.
Welcome to The Splash. I'm Genna Skalski, and as always, thank you for joining us. Milestones and a new president. Kustasz went to Henry Ford West Bloomfield for a sit-down with their new president to see what's happening at the hospital as well as to introduce him to the community.
I'm here at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, where a lot of milestones and events are taking place. And today, I'm talking to Dr. Eric Wallace.
Good to meet you.
First, can you talk about what's going on at the hospital right now?
Sure. So one of the really cool things that's going on at our hospital is we are in the midst of celebrating our 10-year anniversary. Okay. Coming up September 21st from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., we're actually going to continue that celebration with the community.
So what are some of the things taking place at the celebration?
We're going to have live music, we're going to have face painting, we're going to have games, we're going to have raffles. It generally should be a several-hour party to just, like I said, welcome everybody in and say thank you for what this community's done for us over the last decade.
What about for people that were born in 2009? Is there anything special with that?
It is really special. So we've invited back all the folks who had babies in that first year. So we should have a whole bunch of 10-year-olds running around outside in our parking lot. And
speaking of, I guess, milestones, how long have you been here? Because I know you're fairly new, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been here 3 months now. Okay. It's been a great experience to join the Henry Ford organization. Okay. And say I'm still in that phase where I'm learning about the amazing team members and all the cool stuff that goes on in this building. We have new and exciting things that we're bringing to the community and being able to offer so that people can get their care close to home and not have to travel outside of the community.
For the healthcare industry, what is your background in healthcare?
So I've been in healthcare now for almost going on 25 years. Mm-hmm. I'm a nurse by background. Okay. Started out, like a lot of folks, as a bedside clinician. But most of my clinical background was in the cardiac ICU. I'm one of those folks that I think early on I saw that if there were things that needed to be improved on or work that needed to change, if I was going to be involved in that, I had to step into a leadership role. Had the opportunity 3 years ago actually to come visit this campus. Oh, okay. We were trying to learn about some of the innovative things that were being done by Henry Ford Health, and so when I saw the opportunity and the position available, I jumped on it and so that's a place that I want to be and really enjoyed the culture and the innovative thinking that goes on here.
So moving forward, what do you have planned or what do you hope to see for the future of Henry Ford? What would you like to see at the 20th anniversary?
Well, I think you're going to see a very different hospital at the 20th anniversary. As I said, we're committed to growing. Mm-hmm. Today we're in a place where our capacity is starting to be pushed a little bit. Mm-hmm. So we're starting to have conversations about how do we continue to grow on this campus. Mm-hmm. Healthcare is moving and changing so rapidly that part of our job is to look out and say, what do we think is still going to need hospital care in 10 years?
What about some short term? What about the 11th anniversary?
I think what you'll see at the 11th anniversary is us starting to talk more intently about what's next. Okay. Meaning we've got to start thinking about how do we deliver care differently. Mm-hmm. What does that look like? And not just on this campus, but what is the Henry Ford strategy for the entire kind of Northwest market or Oakland County market? I'm excited. I'm excited about the future of this campus. This hospital was designed to be different. And what I would say, while some of the architecture shows that off, really what makes us different are the people that work in this building. And the care and the compassion that they show up with every day makes a difference in this community. And that's why I'm proud to be here.
Well, thanks for talking to me today. And that's it from Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Kustasz.
You can find more information at our website at civiccentertv.com/president and 10th. Hampton Inn has recently launched Home 2 Suites, which is bringing innovative lodging to the West Bloomfield area. Larry Nyland brings us the story of these new hotel chains.
If you've driven by the Orchard Lake and Northwestern Interchange recently, you've probably noticed the latest addition to West Bloomfield's growing hotel scene. The Home 2 Suites by Hilton partners with its next-door neighbor, the Hampton Inn, to offer travelers to the area terrific options when it comes to their overnight stays.
So Home 2 Suites is a newer Hilton property.
Okay.
Ours has been open about 3.5 months, and every room is a studio suite. So it has a king bed with a sofa bed and a kitchenette. It's geared towards more of an extended stay traveler.
Okay.
So anyone coming to town for, business where they're going to be here, they're going to stay for longer periods of time, or they might come every week for 4 or 5 days.
While the majority of guests at most hotels are out-of-towners, an often overlooked aspect of hotel traffic are the local citizens who might just need a place to stay when they, for various reasons, cannot spend the night in their own homes.
We get a lot of people who live in the area and who are displaced from their homes for various reasons.
Yeah.
Either, they had a flood or, something is going on. They're having work done on their home. A lot of times people who are moving and they've had a closing and the new house isn't ready, things like that. People will stay with us for that.
For Home 2 Suites by Hilton and the Hampton Inn, having Lisa Shapiro as their director of sales is a huge asset, as the area native can provide great local insight to out-of-town visitors.
I grew up in the area.
Okay.
So for me, this is like welcoming people into my home. I have connections to so many people who stay here and call us for their needs, so that's a lot of fun for me. I think it's a great community. It's a very safe community. And that's one of the things I think that draws people here. There's a lot of places right here that you can walk to. There's a lot of restaurants. So there's a lot to do here. We have a beautiful trail system, just 2 miles down the road. So there's a lot of events and places to send our guests to and to tell them about. And it's just a nice community feel here.
And Lisa's affection for the area is also apparent as she's very active in volunteerism.
I try and stay very involved for myself and the hotels, to represent the hotels in a lot of different charitable ways within the community. I'm on the committee for Michigan Week. Relay for Life, we actually have a team. And then other ones where, we try and give a donation, or like a raffle item, something like that, where people can win a night to be here. So just whatever we can do to support our, our community.
Reporting for The Splash, this is Lawrence Nyland.
For more, you can visit civiccentertv.com/home2suites. Later in the show, we hear about healthy eating at Henry's, as well as an interview with Jasmine McNeal.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
This hour of programming is brought to you in part by Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. 10 years ago, Henry Ford Health System celebrated the grand opening of its West Bloomfield Hospital. Since then, they've celebrated innovative new technologies, medical breakthroughs, and unique approaches to health and healing. To learn more about Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, visit henryford.com/West Bloomfield 10. Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital is a proud sponsor of Civic Center TV. Television that's close to home. There's Friday nights on the gridiron, then there's This Week in Laker Football. Join Dave Scott and head coach Ron Bellamy as they talk about the last week's game, preview the upcoming matchup, and talk to some of your favorite players and your favorite people from West Bloomfield High School. Airing weekdays at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. on Civic Center TV and on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Genna Skalski. Fresh, locally grown fruits and vegetables are hard to come by, but luckily Henry's Market on Main is bringing just that and more to our community. Erica Jones has the story.
Bringing local food products to West Bloomfield is the mission of Henry's Market on Main. Let's take a look. Every Wednesday throughout the summer and fall, local residents can enjoy fresh produce, prepared meals, and healthy treats just by walking through the doors of Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital.
Henry's Market on Main started 5 years ago, and it's part of our commitment to provide fresh local produce to our employees and their visitors. It's part of our commitment to their health. Fresh local produce is a part of anyone's healthy diet. All of our produce is local, and if you had to choose between local and organic produce, I would choose local. There is more nutrients inside local produce because it hasn't been shipped as far after it was harvested. So when we eat for nutrients and nutrition, local food should be primary, and if you can get organic food as well, that's great, but look for local first. Part of Henry's expansion this year is including a local farmer. Brittany from Beaverland Farms is here selling her produce this year. It's part of our commitment to developing local food culture to support farmers earning money from the produce that they grow.
Brittany Rooney has an interesting background in that the farm where she grows her produce is actually located within the city limits of Detroit.
We're in the Brightmoor neighborhood, which is a neighborhood that was hit really hard by the economic downfall of Detroit in the 80s and 90s. And so in the early 2000s, they took down like 80% of the houses in the area. And so, 6 years ago, I moved into the neighborhood, bought a house, and I've slowly been buying up some of the vacant land around the house and converting it into a farm. And so at this point, we have 2 acres, which is pretty significant for a farm inside the city.
And the contributions of Brittany and other vendors at the market go a long way toward benefiting those locally in need.
So all of the proceeds from the market, so people are able to, donate their change or give a little extra, and all of that money goes to Blessings in a Backpack, which is a program that provides weekend meals for kids.
And resident farmer Trevor Johnson is particularly fond of one of the items she brought with her to the market on this day.
Kohlrabi is one of my favorite vegetables, and it is a weird one. It eats like an apple but tastes like broccoli. It's really good to slice up and to have in dips as an appetizer.
Here at Henry's Market on Main, they're showing that when presented with food options, local is always the best choice. I'm Erica Jones, reporting for The Splash.
To know more on this story, you can visit civiccentertv.com/Henry's Market. Now it's time for the Civic Center TV event update, where we provide you with upcoming events around Greater West Bloomfield. For more events coming up, visit civiccentertv.com/events. Anyone learning English and looking to improve their language skills is invited to join Let's Talk, an ESL discussion group. This group allows you to improve your English in a safe and fun environment. Also attending the group will be a tutor from the Oakland Literacy Council who will also help facilitate the discussion. This group takes place every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to noon, and for more info, visit westbloomfieldlibrary.org. Come to Henry's Market on Main. This market hosts a variety of fresh, locally grown produce, as well as baked goods, herbs, salsa, and many other delicious products, including free samples. Learn from expert chefs how to prepare a meal with the ingredients grown from Henry Ford's very own greenhouse. The market is open Wednesdays from 9 to 5 and is free and open to the public. For more information, go to henryford.com. Do you like stories and also like songs? Well, you're in luck thanks to Stories and Songs happening at the library. Every Thursday from 10 to 10:30, visit West Bloomfield Public Library for special dual language stories, as well as, you guessed it, songs. Admission is free, and for additional info, go to westbloomfieldlibrary.org. Dispose of prescription drugs with Operation Medicine Cabinet. Happening year-round in West Bloomfield, Keego Harbor, and Orchard Lake, this takes place at the police departments of 3 communities. Disposing of drugs is completely anonymous, open 24/7 in West Bloomfield, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Keego Harbor, and Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Orchard Lake. For more information, visit oakgov.com or call your local police. Elders beware. The Elder Abuse Prevention Town Hall is happening Monday, September 30th from 10 to 11:30 a.m. at the Novi Public Library. This town hall is put on by Senator Jim Runestad and Attorney General Dana Nessel. For additional info, visit senatorjimrunestad.com/elder abuse prevention. Books benefit babies' brains. Books and Babies is taking place at the library Fridays from 10:30 to 11 a.m. This group introduces babies to books in an effort to stimulate and improve brain development. Along with books, there will be puppets, rhymes, and finger plays. Go to westbloomfieldlibrary.org for more information on the event. And that's this week's highlights. You can find more events online at civiccentertv.com/events and see everything going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, I'll sit down with Jasmine McNeal, content creator and artist.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Civic Center TV is your home for everything Greater West Bloomfield. Here you can tune into community programming such as our weekly news magazine show, The Splash, as well as coverage of local events and meetings in Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, and West Bloomfield. You can also watch all of your local programming online anytime at civiccentertv.com. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
Laker football is live every Friday this fall on Civic Center TV, WBTV, and 89.3 Lakes FM. Tune in before every game kicks off at 7 p.m. for live analysis from Dave Scott and Tyler Kieft, and then another great Laker football matchup. You can listen on Civic Center TV, WBTV, and of course on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM and on the web on lakesfm.com.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm joined this week by Jasmine McNeal, content creator and artist. Jasmine, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, so as a content producer, you are making your own music, you're editing photos and videos. Can you tell us how you manage all your time?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But sleep isn't a thing. Like, I don't sleep at all. No, I'm kidding. But honestly, it just keeps me going because I like it so much. So it doesn't even feel like I'm really working. Yeah.
So what inspired you to choose this career path?
Oh, man. I feel like ever since I was a child, I've always been a little more creative. I was never really a math and science person or English, I guess, like that, you could say. I wasn't a traditional student. I was a theater kid. I did, like, choir when I was younger and all that stuff, or Glee Club. And then when I got to college, I was I think I was an elementary ed major, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't. So I switched my major to comm, and then kind of went from there. Yeah.
Yet you're still in education, right? You're teaching?
Yeah. So I do teach English online as a little side job, but it's really fun. I like impacting lives, so that's what I like about teaching. But I just know for sure I can't be stuck in a classroom. Like, I need to be out in the world, and I need to express myself. You know.
So where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Ooh. That's a long time from now. Let's see, I'll be 33. Hopefully, in 10 years, I will still, be making music and, engineering and performing, just inspiring people to do the same thing.
And what's your favorite part about your job?
Which job?
Any of them. You got a lot going on.
Any of them. I would say for the music aspect, because I'm actually just starting it. Well, I started it last year, like fully embracing it. My favorite part is just watching myself grow. I think last year, if you were to ask me to put something on SoundCloud or anything like that, I would say, no, what are you talking about? I don't sing. I don't make music. That is a lie. But now I'm like, okay, I can actually do this. So just seeing myself grow is probably the best part of that journey. Yeah.
And then what kind of music do you enjoy listening to when it's not your own work?
Everything. I love everything. I love hip-hop, R&B. I like even country pop.
I love country.
Yeah. I like, I don't know, alternative, indie, anything, yeah.
And then what different outlets do you draw your inspiration from when you create your music?
Outlets as in, like, sorry.
No, it's okay. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be music. Maybe if you're outside and you're seeing like nature.
Gotcha. Yeah. Sorry, slow moment.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, so definitely nature. I like to. Yeah, that's a good one. I like going on walks.
On walks?
Yeah, like spending time outside. You just have to take a moment and just look at everything. Like, everything was created for this moment, for you to experience it, So I just like soaking that in. And honestly, that gives me peace, and then that kind of opens the door to like writing, so it's all connected.
Yeah, and so we've obviously talked about your music career, but can you tell us more about your photo and video editing?
Yeah, so shout out to my very good friend Jake. We worked at Student Video Productions together, and it was really fun, but honestly, if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have edited anything in Premiere. I remember, I think it was my junior or sophomore year, he was like, Jasmine, we have to get shows out. And I'm like, okay, but I don't know how to use the software. And I finally opened up Premiere, and then I just started editing, and then I started watching tutorials online. He's actually native, Justin Odisho. He's from Michigan, so he's a native. And I just started watching like his crazy edits, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. I feel like I can do this. So I started editing like cool videos, and then people on campus wanted me to shoot like their Greek stuff, and so I started shooting for them and making crazy edits for them. And it was funny because like I got into Photoshop after that, after graduating. And it's funny how it all happened. But I got into a really bad car accident, and I had to take time off. So during my time off, I literally had nothing to do for 3 weeks. I wasn't working. I couldn't do anything. My body was sore. And then so I learned Photoshop in those 3 weeks. And then I just started making edits, and just anything that my mind thinks of is what I make. So.
Well, it's unfortunate about the accident, but it's good you had time to, hone on your skills.
Yeah.
And it's good that you had your friend there to push you to try new things.
Yeah.
So if anyone who is pursuing what, the industry that you're going into, what advice would you give them?
Wow. I actually have a lot of advice that I can give them. Be open to new things. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Don't be afraid to talk to people that don't look like you. Don't be afraid to step outside the box, and just be confident. I know sometimes it's really hard to be confident because the industry is so competitive, but you just have to be yourself. And once you're yourself, people like you. Either they like you or they don't, right? But that doesn't stop you from doing what you need to do in life.
Oh, those are very wise words because it is a very demanding industry.
Yeah.
But Jasmine, thank you so much for joining us
problem.
today. Everyone, that is Jasmine McNeal, the content creator and artist. On this week's episode of The Biz, we hear about a special boxing class in West Bloomfield.
Hi, I'm Katrina Carson from Civic Center TV, and on this edition of The Biz, we're here in West Bloomfield at the Title Boxing Club, where we'll find out more information on how boxing can benefit your mind and your body.
It's a full body workout, actually one of the most intense workouts out of everything. Compared to other workouts like aerobics, yoga, etc. It's the one that has the most benefits in general. The other workout that would be close to and similar would be swimming, and you would have to do it on a competitive level to be able to burn as many calories as we do here in 1 hour.
It's a HIIT training workout, which means we're going to bring your heart rate up, we're going to take it down, right? And that's going to offer more fat burning. But in addition to that piece, you're going to get strength components in that because you're hitting a 100-pound bag. But then just go back to the technique alone. Everything that you do comes from your core. So now you're isolating all of your core muscles. It's about 1,000-calorie burn if you care at all about that. And of course, it's lean muscle mass because, again, you're hitting that 100-pound bag.
And Kat explains that boxing is a great stress reliever along with many other added benefits.
Every punch is you're releasing all these negative toxins, and then with that you're taking endorphins and it's going to the brain. And there are a lot of studies out there that show that boxing actually is being used in lieu of depression medication. When it's just here and you have 1 hour to give, you can lay it all out on the bag, all of the negative energies that we're all harboring and we're tight, right? You release them on the bag, and of course with that you're going to increase endorphins. It's just a euphoric. And then of course that eye-hand coordination, right? Sending those signals to the brain. You don't even realize that's what you're doing here. So that's just more bang for your buck that you don't even know you're getting.
Title Boxing offers a Rock Steady class, a program for Parkinson's patients to help combat the disease, which affects movement within the central nervous system.
The classes for Rocksteady are slightly different from normal regular classes here at Title Boxing Club. They're 1.5 hour long workouts. I say slightly different because we do include the boxing, and we do a lot of boxing at the ring. We hit mitts, we do weight training, we do balance training, which triggers their hand and eye foot coordination, which is specifically what they need.
Today at Title Boxing Club, we learned about how boxing can benefit your mind and your body. I'm Katrina Carson with Civic Center TV, and that's your biz.
For more episodes of The Biz, visit civiccentertv.com/thebiz. Now it's time for our final segment, Person of the Week, where we celebrate the people in the community who are inspiring and providing toward others. This week's recipient is Julie Moore. Julie is an early childhood specialist at the West Bloomfield Public Library. Her role at the library involves providing children in the community with the best learning experience at the library. Her work at the library brings literature, learning, and creativity to many different children. The West Bloomfield Public Library hosts many different events, classes, seminars, and activities on a weekly basis that are targeted towards children's entertainment and learning. Julie works towards giving the children of our community many fun things for them to succeed in life, and learning this dedication to our community and to childhood education is what makes Julie our Person of the Week. If you know someone who is making a positive difference, let us know and message us on social media or send an email to thesplash@civiccentertv.com. We want to congratulate and acknowledge those making a difference in our community. We appreciate your suggestions. That's this week's show. You can watch new episodes Mondays at 5:30 p.m. Civic Center TV on Comcast 15, AT&T 99, and online in HD at civiccentertv.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at Civic Center TV. For all of our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Kego Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Genna Skalski. Thank you for watching The Splash.